Well, I'm speaking to Harry van Hoof, who's Holland's #1 conductor, arranger, and composer. Good evening, Harry.
Good evening.
Harry, I can understand a person wanting to be an arranger. I can understand a person wanting to be a composer. But for the life of me, I cannot understand why somebody would want to be a conductor.
Well, it's very simple. It helps you very much to realize your arrangements and composition. When you have some pieces, you did some pieces, and you want to have them recorded, it's better to conduct themselves. You know what I mean? You get better results out of it because you're very close to of course you're very close to your own composition.
Yes, of course. But I was thinking in terms of a song which somebody else has written, right? Somebody else has arranged.
Yes.
You've got nothing really to do then.
Yes, you can interpret. You can give your own feelings to someone other's composition. You can interpret it. You know, with your own feeling, and try to be a professional conductor, especially for the orchestra, and besides that, for the artist as well.
You've just been chosen by the 3 Degrees. We're getting a lot of background noise here.
Yeah.
You've been chosen by the 3 Degrees.
Yes.
Well, recently. You went to Japan on tour with them.
Yes, that's right.
What is it like conducting for the 3 Degrees?
Well, it's very. I work with them. It's the Grand Gala du Disque. It's one of Europe's best programs.
Yes.
It's called Grand Gala du Disque, and all artists of all over the world come to there. And I was conducting the orchestra, and I met them. I worked with them. And they liked it very much, and they invited me to do a tour with them. Unfortunately, I didn't make the tour because there were some problems around it. All the pedals and the problems were just contract troubles, you know. That's all.
Yes.
But I work with them and with a lot of other American and English, German artists.
Well, I was thinking in terms of the 3 Degrees because they have this famous Philadelphia sound.
Yeah, yes.
Now, can you still put your own feelings into the Philadelphia sound? Is that possible?
Well, you can try to imitate it.
Just try to imitate it. That's about all you can do.
Of course, yes.
You can't put your own stamp on it. So
No.
people will say, that's Harry van Hoof.
Well, no, not with the Philly sound. It stands on its own.
On its own, yes.
So you have to do it very properly, like they do it.
Yes, you must copy exactly.
But that's a difficulty as well. It's a very big
challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge, yes. That's right.
Yes, at the same time. You've done a lot of composing in this time, haven't you?
Yes, I did a lot of composing, and the composings I did, and which I like the most, are not popular.
It's always the way.
It's always the way, and the composings I did, which I didn't like so very much, became a world hit, like How Do You Do from Martin McNeil, for instance. Yes.
I believe that has been re-released.
Re-released in where?
In England this week or next week.
Oh, it's possible. Yeah.
So I've heard.
Oh, okay. I tell my bookkeeper.
You keep your bookkeeper happy. You don't like it yourself?
No. Musically spoken, not. It's very, very commercial. It's very empty, you know.
Yes.
And that's what I mean. I like good music, but unfortunately, people don't want to buy good music.
No. Your compositions today have only been done by Dutch artists?
By Dutch artists, yes.
Do you ever see a day when English artists will be saying, Harry van Hoof song, I must record that?
Well, lately I did some recordings with Vera Lynn.
Really?
Yes. She invited me to do some pieces for her here, and I recorded them in Holland. I was very happy with it.
Oh.
Sorry.
Are there any of the current rage of British pop singers like Tom Jones or Engelbert Humperdinck whom you would like to sing one of your songs? Is there anybody at all?
No, I don't think so. Everybody. No, I don't know. Maybe, but they are very close together. And England, especially England, is a very difficult country to come in. You know, they are very firm, very close.
Tight.
Yeah, tight. That's right.
How about the Americans then?
Well, it goes the same for them. But I think they are more open to other talents. You know, they are. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
the
do.
British people are very tight, what you call, and Americans.
More receptive to new ideas.
That's right. Yes.
I would have thought the British were, in recent years, prior to 1964, before the Beatles, British show business and Tin Pan Alley in general was a very close, tight-knit community.
That's right.
And it wasn't a case of who you knew or what you knew, it was who you knew.
Yes.
If you didn't have any contact, then you wouldn't get anywhere.
Never.
But with the Beatles coming in 1964 and the whole of show business is split wide apart, I would have thought there was more opportunity in Britain nowadays.
For who?
For new composers, new arrangers, new talent of any kind.
Yeah, well, as long as you've got the contact. I got some contact, but it's still very difficult. Because, you know,
That's the right contact.
are you English or American?
I'm neither. I'm Irish.
You're Irish. You're British, okay.
I'm British, yes.
But it's always, from the internationally spoken, England is a very difficult country. You know, for the hit parades as well. They won't accept very quickly a Dutch or a German composer.
No, they won't. They're very, very bad like that.
That's right.
It's only in the past 2 or 3 years that Martin McNeil has had a chance to get off the ground, and one or two. Focus is another good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Very good group.
Yeah.
But they've been trying for a long time, and Britain just wouldn't accept them at all.
No.
It's,
But maybe someday they will get wiser.
what kind of songs do you compose?
Well, I do. Well, I gave you an example. That's the commercial one. But I'm doing not really songs, but melodies for film backgrounds and all kind of things like this. You know, tunes and instrumentally played by an orchestra. And I'm very bad with the lyrics, so when I compose a commercial song, I have to find someone who's going to write the lyrics. And it's all a lot of trouble. You have to have luck. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about the arranging?
Well, I'm doing a very lot of arranging in Holland, and I did very much, but now I'm doing several programs for television, so it's getting less, getting fewer. No, that's no good. That's fewer.
I believe you're the conductor for the #1 pop show in Holland at the moment.
Yes.
My friend has written it down to me, but I can't pronounce
Yes,
it.
well, this one you mean?
Yeah.
That's it's a very commercial program, and I finished with this one, and some new programs came instead of this,
Yes.
and it's all about 50 pieces of orchestra.
I see. Are they the original artists who make the hits, or are they copies?
What do you mean?
Well, when the show goes on the air,
Yeah.
what are the songs that are performed?
Well, the songs of the artists they want to perform. I worked last night with Rita Zarai, and she brings her own repertoire.
I see. So you reproduce
Yes,
the hits.
yes,
to the sound.
that's
I
it,
see.
yeah.
It's not a copy.
It's not a copy now.
It's not a copy.
No.
Is it a live show, by the way?
No, it's recorded. I do about 5 or 6 live shows, which I prefer most.
You prefer live?
Yes, I prefer.
Why do you prefer live?
Because there is more atmosphere, there's more sense. You know, the artists are they are in the program, you know, with their heart and soul and everything. They are very tied to the program, and no mistakes are allowed.
Yes.
And when you record the program, mistakes are allowed.
Yes,
So you can stop, and it's just a feeling.
Well, what happens about the mistakes? If mistakes do occur in the live show, that's life.
Try to hide it.
You try to hide it.
Yes.
Going back to your conducting again, do you have any particular conductor that you admire?
Yes. It's Leonard Bernstein.
Bernstein.
Yes. I think that's the best man in the world, especially his way of thinking, his way of thinking about modern music and classic.
Yes.
And he's not the one who says, I only want to do the classics and forget about the modern stuff, you know. So he's very broad-minded, and I like that. Yes.
How about Andre Previn?
He's very good as well. Yes, very good.
So people like Nelson Riddle and...
Well, they are very stuck to one kind of music, you know, stuck to one kind of music, and they wouldn't think about other kinds of music. And I really must say they are very good in their own style, in their own kind of music, but I always say try to accept all kinds of music.
If you had a chance of conducting somebody else's orchestra,
Yes, I do.
whose orchestra would you pick? Out of the whole world, you know, of all the orchestras you've heard,
Yeah,
is
well,
there any one particular orchestra which you think This is a leading question, in fact. I'm not saying that you want to conduct the orchestra because that is the orchestra for you, but an orchestra if you think is being wrongly conducted.
Oh,
you
that's
would
what
love
you
to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, there are some orchestras in Holland which I think they are wrong conducted. But that's a matter of social life, you know. They are steady in one orchestra. They are paid. They only think about money and not about music, and new elements are kept out of it, and that's what I dislike.
Is there any world famous orchestra though that you would like to come to grips with?
Yeah, you know, I like to do classic music very much, and I would like to do a symphonic orchestra, like what I told you about the New York Philharmonic Orchestra. That's what. Okay, that's a dream. You know, you never get it. You never get it in your whole life. Maybe in Holland, maybe in Belgium, Germany. You never get an orchestra of this classification.
So, your dream really has got to be conducting the #1 symphony orchestra in Holland, then?
Well, for instance, for the time being, yes. But I'm still working on it.
You still working?
Yeah.
Is there any chance of it happening?
Yes.
I hope it comes off.
I hope so too. Yes.
Composing. When you want to compose, do you set aside periods in the day, as a lot of composers do, or can you only compose as the mood?
Yes. Yeah, the mood, that's the most important thing. You can't sit down and tell yourself, so I'm going to compose. No. Sometimes you get an idea in the car, and you better get out of it, you take a pencil and write it down. Otherwise, you'll forget it completely.
Do you walk around with a notebook and a pencil ready to...
Well, if I don't have it, I get some. I get, you know, where you put your beer on. What's called this?
Beer mat.
Yes, I take a pencil and I write down just some notes.
Now, you go home at the end of the night with a pocket full of beer mat.
Yeah, and a stomach full of beer.
But you never actually sit down deliberately.
No.
If you were asked to compose a score for a film,
yes,
your film score,
yes,
would you then sit down,
yes,
or would you wouldn't sit around waiting for ideas?
No. You sit down. You look at the picture,
yes,
and get inspired by it. And you know, that's an order. You get an order by
you get on the spot inspiration.
Yes, that's right.
Just through looking at the film.
Yes.
How long would you normally get? You know, when you're commissioned, first of all, to do a film score, how long would it take?
Well, about 2 or 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Isn't that a bit of a rush?
Yeah, it's always a rush.
A film lasting up to 2 hours.
Well,
you've got to compose all the music.
Yes, all the music, but in the new pictures, new films, they don't use that much of music like in the old days. You know, that was from A till Z. It was music.
Music all the way.
And now you get some 10 minutes rest, no music, just film. And so it's about a 2-hour picture is about half an hour music.
So how would you go about? Would you you look at the opening scenes or perhaps the credits and you work out the basic theme for the film? How often throughout the film will the theme be repeated?
Well, of course, in different arrangements. You know, when you get a tune, then sometimes, not always, I try to change it for woodwinds or strings or very rare instruments. And well, it's a matter of finding a tune, try to understand the picture, what kind of mood it makes, you know. And well, it depends on the story. You can't come with a Count Basie tune with a love scene.
No, of course. Would you like to conduct the Count Basie orchestra?
Yes, very good.
What type of film do you prefer to write a score for? A love film or?
Well, it's either very hard or very romantic. Not in between. That's the way I am, actually.
You're romantic at heart.
Yes, romantic or very hard. I mean, in writing, you know.
Yes.
When somebody asks me, it must be very tough and full of sound, punchy. I do it, and the speakers never will end till the last minute.
Yes.
It's either hard or romantic, and very romantic.
What film score composers do you admire? Does Hamford or?
Well, not Bro Campbell. Well, I don't know him actually, not so good. Henry Mancini is very good.
Extremely good.
Very good. He's a specialist.
Yes, he is.
And André Previn. He did some marvelous arrangements and composing. And Legrand, Michel Legrand.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good to listen to his compositions, not to see him standing on stage singing.
Okay, he gets a bit old.
I think he's a bit old for it,
Yeah.
yes. He sings well, but I prefer not to see him at all.
Yes,
actually.
yes.
The final thing is arranging. I'm baffled. How does one get ideas for arranging?
Well, everybody got his own system. When I got a commission, you call it?
Yes.
Commission, a tune which is composed by another one. I sit down for a few hours behind the piano, try to learn the tune by heart, and then when you play, during the playing behind the piano, you get your ideas, the way it sounds, and so on and so on. So and then after a few hours, you get the idea and sit down and write it down.
I see. So there's nothing particular which makes you decide, right, halfway through we'll just have a single guitar.
Yes. Depends on the tune again.
It just depends on the tune.
Yes, and on your own taste, and the taste which is at this moment very popular. Common speaking, yeah?
I see. Well, finally, Harry, are there any other songs that you've composed that have been hits in Holland?
Well, yes, in Holland, but that's very local. But the international one, and I think that's it's enough for today. It's the only one which is international. It's big hit. How do you do it? Well, one can be very satisfied by having one world hit. Believe me.
Really?
Yeah.
I dare say you could. I suppose if I was to write a hit song, just one,
Yeah.
I would be more than pleased.
Yes.
But there again, I'm not as involved in music as you are, and surely you wanted to follow up. How do you do with another one?
Yes, but it's very local again. You know, and thousands of composers never succeed in writing one hit. So I have to be satisfied for 100%.
You're grateful for small mercies.
Pardon?
You're grateful for small mercies.
Yes, that's right.
Well, thank you very much, Harry. I'm very good.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And the best of luck with all your arranging, all your conducting, and all your composing.
Thank you very much.
And perhaps one day the New York Symphony or Boston Symphony. How about Tchaikovsky as a conductor?
Well, I don't know him.
Great hymn.
Well, in the top class, of course.
Of the classical one.
Yeah.
Would you fancy conducting his own? He's got his own symphony orchestra.
No,
Would that appeal to you?
I want to conduct any orchestra as long as I are good musicians in it. You know, you decide. Finally, you decide. I decide in what way they are going to play. But good musicians, and when you got a bunch of good musicians, you make your orchestra.
Fine. Thank you very much, Harry.
You're welcome. Thank you.